Hi guys, okay, today I'm going to show you how to turn our headlights from looking like this one right over here to a nice and bright shiny one right over here. It takes about 1 hour to do 1 hour and a half depending on the materials you use and how bad the condition your lights are in. As you can see, this one I haven't done, and yeah, it's might be difficult to see, but the last owner of my car, they put on, they try to put on a protective spray, and as you can see, it's stained it really badly. What you'll need, first of all, I got just a bucket with everything to first properly clean the headlight. Then I got a lot of sandpaper, starting with 120, 240, 400, 600, 800, 1000, 1200, I think, 1500, 2000, 2500, 3000. Also, you'll need a bucket of water because this is a wet sandpaper, and also I got like this clamp to more easily sand down the light. And for the finish, I used a polishing machine with 2 roughnesses, and importantly, a bottle of Turtle Wax Headlight Cleaner and Sealant. Lastly, as a tip, I got a bunch of masking tape. I recommend putting on a lot before you get started, or as you start. It's always easier, or it's very difficult to put on extra masking tape because things will get wet, but if you put on a nice layer at the start, then it'll go quite smoothly. So I'll show you guys how I do it. So first I do some soapy water, and then I just take a sponge with just regular water just to clean it off. Now if your car is as dirty as mine, I recommend also doing the sides so just your tape sticks nicely. And then it's very important just to get all the dead bugs or anything like that right off your lights. And then I just take a cleaning cloth just to get everything off. Next, I just put some masking tape to try and get everything nice and masked off. Make sure just everything is dry beforehand. I saw someone remove the headlight from his car. If it's possible on yours, that's a lot easier. Also just to handle it and to get nicely into the edges, but it's not very easy on my car, so that's why I choose to mask everything off. So I just put the first layer on. I recommend putting at least a second one, especially right on the bottom because it gets wet. And now it takes some extra time to do it properly. You'll thank yourself later because in a while it might get loose again, and then if you haven't put enough, it's quite difficult to put some more once it's wet. So for the first layer I got some 120, just get it nice and wet and just start scrubbing at it. This one is mostly to get off all the extra resin or protection spray, I guess. I don't think there's any real rules about how long you should do it. I just do it until I feel happy. The most important part is that the spray gets off. That's easy to see, and you can use a towel just to dry it off, just to get a nice idea about where you're at. As you can see, there gets some gunk on your scrubbing pad, so I just rinse it off, and then you can just continue. Now maybe it was possible to see, but as you're doing it, you can really see when the extra layer comes off. So as you can see right here, or I can see it at least, this one is pretty done. This one here still has some of the coat on it. So as you scrub, it's quite easy to see when you've done enough. So, as you can see, it's quite a workout. It's fine doing it like this. I wouldn't recommend doing without a little sandpaper holder. I think it would be very tiring if you have an automatic sander. You can also use it. This is nice because I got some control. I think I'm pretty done with the outer layer. As you can see, maybe that's why here are some drops still, but I'll try and get it off with the finer sandpaper. Maybe I can get them off. I'll try. As you can see, it went from yellow to white because there's a lot of scratches on top. But don't worry, this will get a lot better if you continue. I'm going to switch over to sandpaper a little bit less coarse, and then we'll do the same thing. Now, as we're going down, an important thing is it's quite easy to just do the big side, or like the main part, which is also the most important for security or your lighting. But it's also nice to check and just clean it, or like dry it off and check if on the sides there are no large scratches. When you start with the big one, it's easy to scratch this side without completely getting it clean. So as you go down the sandpaper, there won't be any large scratches visible. It's not really a big problem. On the other side, if you look closely, you can see some little scratches, but if you're like me, I just like to know that it's been thoroughly done, and then I'm happy. The finish is almost in sight. Right now I'm up to 2000, so I got 3 more grits and then the polishing machine. Almost the last one, 2500. And lastly, some 3000 grit sandpaper. Okay, so I think I'm pretty done. Before I start with the polishing machine, I'm just gonna quickly show you a picture of the before and after. I think it's looking extremely well. The last thing is that you can see it's still a bit foggy, but once we polish it, it will go completely away. First things first is to completely get it nice and dry and make sure to remove any excess of the sandings. So sometimes you see the yellowish sludge. Make sure to get everything off before we start sanding. For the last part, well, as you can see, the paper tape held up quite nicely for this part. I'm not really concerned too much with scratching my exterior. So make sure your lights are completely dry, and then I just add some of the product right on the polishing machine. Not too much, not too little, just not really a real rule about how much you should put on. I just do what feels nice. I start with just rubbing it out a little bit, because if you start spinning when it's still on it, it will just fly off. yeah, just start sanding. I'm putting it on the lowest speed just to take it easy, and we'll see what happens. So the first layer is finished. The only thing you should in theory watch out for is if you stay too long in the same spot, it can get hot, but if you just feel it, it's not hot at all. If you just move around, now you can already see it's getting there. So I'll go for the finishing layer. I'll add just a little bit more sealer, or yeah, cleaner. And we'll get started on the last part. So, pretty happy. I'll just rub any of the excess off, and then, so I'm pretty happy. I'm just gonna wipe the excess off, and as you can see, we got a brand new headlight for just about 1 hour of your time and a bit of sanding paper. I'm very pleased with how they turned out. It's the first time I did this, so if you're feeling anxious about doing it, it's very easy and the results are quite amazing. There are some spots that they might be able to do a little bit better, but maybe that's for next year. Guys, I hope you enjoyed. Let me know. Alright, bye guys.